Welcome back, everyone. We are joined by Alf Anderson with AARP Maine. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
There's always so much to talk about, and the topic today is one that we've actually kind of been hearing a lot about in recent months. Of course, the possibility or probability that utility rates are going to go up once again, and they've certainly increased, a couple of times in recent memory, and that's always kind of a stressful thing, but those sorts of things even more stressful for older Mainers.
Yeah, we've seen prices go up on electric bills quite a bit over the last few years, as you mentioned, and there's just so many different factors that go into it, but it's really those vulnerable Mainers that you mentioned that we're really always keeping an eye out for, especially in Augusta when there's potential legislation being passed. We really fought for some really important bills to get passed this most recent session.
And that's kind of what I want to drill into first. Let's talk about the legislation that's come into play or will come into play that at least could be of some assistance.
Yeah, so there are three bills that we're really happy were passed in the legislature this session. The first one is protecting people from having their electricity or gas utilities shut off during those heat and hot weather days in the summer. We know that in the cold months, you can't utilities can't shut off your power because it's just not safe. Well, we're seeing more hot weather events here in Maine over the years, and this will protect people from having their power shut off during those hot weather events, and not charge people for reconnection fees. If you've had your service turned off for some reason, they can't just add another fee on there to make it that much more for you, difficult for you to catch up.
So we know that AARP has a presence in Augusta, and you are frequently there advocating for issues that are close to the hearts of older Mainers. Anything else that folks should know in terms of what's coming out of Augusta that could be of assistance in this type of situation?
Yeah, there's a really great program called the Arrearage Management Program. It was temporary in nature, but this past session they passed an extension of that program. We hope to make it permanent, but it's another 4 years is a good compromise, and this allows people who have fallen behind an opportunity to catch up, get some forgiveness on a past due balance. Maybe they lost their job, maybe they had a health incident that caused them to not be able to work for a while, and they just kind of fell behind. This is a program you can enroll through Versant or through Central Maine Power to have the ability to sort of catch up and not continue to fall further and further behind. So we're really happy that program passed, and again, a lot of vulnerable Mainers can take advantage of that.
Well, and it's so important to remember that folks need time to catch up as well. They need the opportunity to catch up as opposed to owing it all at once, and they need time to do it because so many older Mainers are on fixed incomes, and there's usually not a lot of wiggle room in those budgets. So, it's something that needs to be spread out over time, and I'm sure that's what you're hearing at AARP.
Exactly. Yeah. Having somebody have to pay a one lump sum catch up is just not feasible if you're on a fixed income. So being able to enter into a program really makes it feasible for people, and we fought for the continuation of that program, and like I said, we're happy to see that put in place or kept in place for people who really need it.
What was that process like, having to advocate for those kinds of programs to help people out?
Yeah, we work closely with the Office of the Public Advocate to identify some of the programs that we could support for consumers alongside what they're doing. And then we have a great group of advocacy volunteers that join us at the State House. We say on Tuesdays at the State House, they show up in their red t-shirts, and we have like a whole group of people sitting in various committee rooms. I'm usually in the Utilities Committee, and I've got a great group of like 5 to 10 volunteers that join me in there to really make our presence felt. So the legislators know that there are people watching the moves they make that will impact people over the age of 50.
And finally, before we wrap up, so if folks have questions about the help that's available when it comes to utility rates or other issues, can they reach out to AARP?
Yeah, you can find information about us and contact us on our website, aarp.org/Maine. And there's a ton of information there. Our contact information is there. We'd love to have people join us to become advocacy volunteers. And there's also a listening session with the Public Utilities Commission on May 29th at 6 p.m. here in Bangor at the Hilton Garden Inn, 6 p.m. on May 29th. A great opportunity to engage with the commissioners and share your thoughts on potential rate hikes, what it's costing you to keep the lights on in your home.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. We always appreciate kind of being made aware of the tools we have to advocate for ourselves. That's really important.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, thank you so much again. And folks, stay with us. Your updated extended forecast is coming right up.